Welcome to the 9th video of this series of SQL Basics. In this session we will learn about functions and nested functions. All the functions are, if you go to database, for example we are using clinical system database, then go to programmability and there are functions where you could see system functions and for example there are some string functions and date and time functions. So let's get started. We are using clinical system database. Select all from TBL operation. Let's see the results first. So this is showing all the results from this operation table. Let's choose a field. Let's choose operation name field, and to use a function will be like a second field. We are using one of the functions, one of the string functions called upper, and the arguments are is going to be name of the field, operation name, and then let's say we call it alias as upper and this one as name. When we execute this, it's displaying all the names in uppercase. Let's try another function. It's called replace, and we need to give name of the field or string, operation name, and then the second one is like what exactly we are looking for. As you can see, some of the options are like radiotherapy, chemotherapy. So let's say we try to find therapy, THERPY, and then let's change it to the word treatment. So if we want to replace the word therapy, these letters, from this field to this, we will use replace function. When we run this, as you can see, radiotherapy has become a radio treatment, chemo treatment, and so on. Let's try another function. It's called a reverse function, and if we put name of field, operation name as reverse, change this one as call it treatment. When we run this, as you can see, the word radiotherapy is in reverse order, all those letters radiotherapy. So this is what functions do. Some of the string functions we used. There are some more string functions. You can use any of those according to your requirements. Let's try another function, date and time function. But that we need to delete these fields and bring a date time field here. So that will be operation date as date. Run this, and this is the date and time of operation date. So we are going to use first one is date name function, and then we could tell the system what exactly we're looking for. For year, we could give 4 Ys or 2 Ys. Like if we're putting 2 Ys in there, then it will bring up name of the year in 2 digits. I'm going to bring in 4 digits. VERATI in operation date, and when we run this, it is showing the year from this date, 1993, 2002, and so on. Let's try another one. Date name. This time we are looking at month. comma operation date. When we run this, it's displaying us name from this date, July 07 from there, June 06 from there, and so on. Let's also pick up the day part from this date time, dd comma operation date. So when we run this, so it's showing us 16th of July 1993. This is what it says, 16/07/1993. Let's try another function. These date and time functions are all listed in here. Let's try another function called diff function. Diff function help us to find the difference between two dates. For example, this patient, we add another field called ref date, when the patient was referred for the treatment, and op date, when the patient had the operation done. So we are looking at how many days, how long did the person took to from referral date to treatment date. So we are looking at number of days, comma referral date, comma operation date. So what we are doing here is we are using diff function, and we are looking at number of days, how many days is the difference from referral date to operation date. So when we run this, it displays us for the first patient it took 31 days from referral date to treatment date. Second one is 61, and so on. In the last one, last few of them, there was no referral date, it was null, so it couldn't calculate the difference, so that's why it's displaying null values in there. There is also, if for example we want to find out today's date and time, the function called get date function, and there are no arguments, so it's going to be blank because it will pick up today's date from the system. If we run this, so it's displaying today's date and time. So this is how we use functions. Let's try some nested functions, how we could nest one function with the other one. For example, in here, what we do, we are going to use same diff function, this one. Just copy, Control C, Control V there, and then rather than using operation date or referral date, let's delete referral date from there. And then if we need to know how many days since the operation was done on a particular record, so if we use get date function there, then it will this function will find out since the patient had the operation done from today, how many days the difference is. So this patient had a procedure done on 16th of July 1993, and today is 21st of Feb 2016, so the difference is 8,255 days. We could also replace this with let's see, with months. If you want to know how many months since the patient had this operation done, so if we run again, it's showing us 271 months. And similarly, if we need to know how many years since the patient had a procedure. So if we use this YY, it will show us the first record. It's been 23 years since the patient had a procedure done, 271 months or 8,255 days. So this is how we could use nested function. Datediff is a function and getDate is another function. So we nested getDate inside datediff function. Let's try a couple of string functions to do some nesting. Let's choose operation date again, operation name again, operation name as operation, and then we use replace function in our example, replace. So what we did last time, we did operation name and find the word therapy and replace it with treatment. This is what we did earlier. Let's run this. So wherever it is showing radiotherapy, it is showing now replacing the word therapy with treatment, showing radio treatment. Now what we do, we in fact we also use another function that was upper, upper, and then operation name, let's say upper alias, and I believe the name is incorrect. Operation name, that's fine now. Okay, and we call this as replace and run this. Where is the error? Oh yeah, that one. We run this. So first function is changing the case from lowercase to uppercase. The other one is changing the name from therapy to treatment. So what we do now is we use replace function and operation name, comma, therapy. Now we are going to change it with treatment, but we are going to nest upper function inside replace function. So we could use upper, and then we could put in treatment, close the bracket, and then close another bracket for replace function. When we run this, what it is doing now is where you could see it has changed from radiotherapy to radio treatment, and in this case it is displaying radio treatment, but part of the field treatment is showing in uppercase because we nested upper inside replace function. There is another function which is called a replicate function, operation name, comma 2. What it does, it replicates whatever the string is in here is before the comma, and we put 2, so it will replicate it twice. As you can see, it's showing radiotherapy twice in there. That's also one of the string functions where you could see in here, string functions, replicate, that function we just used. Let's try to nest couple of functions inside replicate function. So for that purpose, replicate, open bracket. What we do is we just copy this part of a nested function without the comma, Control C, and put it inside the bracket, Control V, and then close the bracket for this function. There is still a red squiggly bracket underneath, which means yeah, because we didn't give the completed the function. So what we need to tell, as here we did, like how many times we want to repeat. So we need to tell how many times we want to repeat. Let's say let's repeat it twice. When we run this, you can see it has replaced the actual word radiotherapy with radio treatment, and not only with treatment, but it has changed the case from lowercase to uppercase, part of the string as treatment. And then when we use replicate function, it replicated the same string twice. So this is how we could nest functions. We nested upper function inside replace function, and then we nested this part of these two functions inside replicate function. This is how we could nest different functions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please post your comments and feedback. There are more videos available to watch and learn from, so please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.